All right, welcome to this explainer. If you're prepping for the Canadian citizenship exam, you've landed in the exact right spot. We are going to treat this like a highly focused, high-yield study session. Get your highlighters ready.
Let's just dive right in, shall we? Today, we're zooming in on the Applying for Citizenship and the Rights and Responsibilities sections of the official Discover Canada Guide, specifically pages 6 through 9. We're cutting out all the fluff. I'm going to give you purely the testable material that the exam creators absolutely love to use. You don't just need a general vibe of the material, you need the exact vocabulary and facts. So, here's our game plan for today. Test eligibility, the ceremony steps, historical sources of law, Canadian charter rights, and finally, the responsibilities of citizens. Let's get to it.
All right, Module 1, Test Eligibility. Now, you're going to want to pay super close attention to these numbers because they are highly testable. The exam absolutely loves asking about age requirements. So here's the deal. You only have to take the knowledge test and prove your English or French proficiency if you're between the ages of 18 and 54. Got it? 18 to 54? Now, actually, if you are 55 or older, you are completely exempt from writing the citizenship test. So lock that in your brain right now. 18 to 54, test required. 55 and up, you're exempt. Moving right along to Section 2, the citizenship ceremony.
Okay, so you've passed your test. Congratulations. The next crucial hurdle is the citizenship ceremony itself, and this involves a very specific legal sequence. You need to memorize this exact order for the exam. Step 1, you take the oath of citizenship. Step 2, you sign the oath form. And Step 3, you finally receive your Canadian citizenship certificate. Please, whatever you do, don't mix this order up on a multiple-choice question. I mean, you literally can't receive your certificate before you sign the form, right? Just logically.
Now, this is a massive exam trap, so listen up. In Canada, your oath of loyalty is sworn to a person, specifically the sovereign, like the king or queen, and not to a document like a constitution or, a flag. If a test question asks who you profess loyalty to, the answer is always the sovereign. They personify Canada. Okay, on to Section 3, historical sources of law. Grab a pen and write this exact definition down. The Magna Carta, which was signed way back in England in 1215, is also known as the Great Charter of Freedoms. The exam will definitely want you to know that this 800-year-old document is the historical root for basic liberties. We're talking freedom of conscience, freedom of religion, and peaceful assembly. If you see the phrase Great Charter of Freedoms, you immediately click Magna Carta. And here's another absolute heavy hitter for the exam, habeas corpus. It's a Latin term from English common law, and you need its exact definition down cold. Habeas corpus literally translates to your legal right to challenge being unlawfully detained by the state. Basically, if the government locks you up, habeas corpus is your legal tool to demand they prove they have a lawful reason to do so.
All right, Section 4, Canadian Charter Rights.
Drill this exact year into your memory right this second, 1982. This is the year the Constitution of Canada was amended to firmly entrench the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I can almost guarantee you the test will use 1982 as a multiple-choice option when asking about the Charter.
You've also got to know the specific guarantees laid out in that charter. Memorize these distinct categories. First up, mobility rights. That means you can live and work anywhere in Canada and leave or enter freely. Next, Aboriginal people's rights, which basically ensures charter rights don't negatively impact Indigenous treaties. Then we've got official language and minority language educational rights, establishing English and French as completely equal in government. And finally, multiculturalism, which the guide explicitly defines as a fundamental characteristic of Canadian heritage.
Now, this next point is absolutely crucial and heavily tested, the absolute equality of women and men. The study guide does not mince words here, and you shouldn't either for the test. Because men and women are entirely equal under Canadian law, things like barbaric cultural practices, honor killings, female genital mutilation, forced marriage, or really any gender-based violence, they are completely unacceptable. In fact, those guilty of these acts are severely punished under Canada's criminal laws. No exceptions.
Let's bring it home with Section 5, Responsibilities of Citizens.
So what are your specific responsibilities as a Canadian citizen? This is a totally classic exam format. They're going to give you a list of actions and ask you to pick out the ones that are actual legal or civic obligations, rather than just nice things to do or personal freedoms.
You really must memorize this exact list of 6 responsibilities. Number 1, obeying the law because no person is above it. 2, taking responsibility for yourself and your family through hard work. 3. Serving on a jury. The guide specifically calls this a legally required privilege that keeps the justice system impartial. 4. Voting in elections. 5. Helping others in the community through volunteering. And 6. Defending Canada. Honestly, pay special attention to serving on a jury and voting. Those are wildly common test answers.
Watch out here, because exam creators absolutely love to trick students by mixing concepts up. They might ask you to identify a responsibility, but they'll toss a right into the multiple choice options, like mobility, just to mess with you. Always separate a right you enjoy, like freedom of speech or entering the country freely, from a responsibility you must fulfill, like obeying the law or serving on a jury. To wrap up this explainer, let's look at an actual sample question straight from the study guide. Based on the facts we literally just went over, do you know the right answer? What are 3 responsibilities? Is it A, which includes recycling? Nope. I mean, recycling is awesome, but it's not listed as one of the 6 formal responsibilities. So it's got to be B, obeying the law, taking responsibility for your family, and serving on a jury. If you nailed that, you are well on your way to passing. But here's the thought to leave you with. Passing the test is just the starting line. Once you finally swear that oath, how are you going to choose to exercise those hard-won rights and responsibilities every single day as a new Canadian?